Alright, so guys, let's begin. So last lecture, you guys had seen how to analyze the flow of your program, right? That is what we understood. Now this whole flow that we are analyzing manually, later I'll teach you debugging, which is a very important tool for every developer. Now, if you don't know debugging, then it will become very difficult to work in the projects, right? So I will, right now we are not installing the tool, but I will still debug this program and I'll show you the flow. Then I'll teach you all these controls later. Okay? So firstly what I'll do is, I know that the program starts with main method. So I'll just put here one breakpoint. You can see one small dot here, a small bubble sort of a thing. Now what is this breakpoint is, once I put that and when I click on this bug icon, our application will start and stop at this line 4. Has it stopped? Yes. Now from here, this debugging will help us to analyze the code line by line, and it has some controls. Like how when you drive a car, there are certain controls in that. If you don't know the controls, you'll not be able to drive the car. Same way, there are certain controls given. The first control that you see is called as step over. I will teach you this debugging in IntelliJ as well, but in a more depth manner we will learn later. But now when you are stuck, after I teach you installation of Eclipse, which will soon happen in my future classes, you start using debugging and you need not ask anyone how this program flow is and what's happening. So what we will do now, when you step over, it means this will move from the current line to next line only in the same method. This step over, when I click, it will move from the current line to next line in the same method. See, click on this. Is it moving? And when I moved ahead, what is it printing? 100. Now I'm at line number 5. That's my current line. To move to the next line from here, I did, what is it printing? 300. Now when I moved ahead further, you see that, okay, an object creation has taken place. What has taken place? Object creation. Are you understanding now? So this has created an object for us. What it has created? An object for us. So I just move to the next line. Again step over, closing bracket of main. What does it mean? Program now stops. Did the program stop? This is what we saw manually. This is the first control. The first control is step over. Now the step over. Okay, I forgot to share the screen, it seems. Hold on 1 minute. 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute. Huh. 1 minute. Hold on. Alright. Observe here now. Okay, what is debugging and how do we do this? Again, I'm repeating it because the screen sharing did not happen. See, this whole flow of the program we analyzed manually yesterday. But what if now I want to use debug and analyze line by line how this code runs? So this is very important because tomorrow when you join company, someone else has developed the code. Someone else has already developed the code. And you're interested to understand the code line by line what he has developed, so that we understand the logic building what he has done there. Now if it is 5-10 lines, I can do it the way we did yesterday. If it is 5-10 lines, you can just do it the way we did yesterday. But what if there are hundreds of methods? Every method there are thousands of lines. One method is calling another method is calling another method. So debugging skills becomes very essential. If you don't know debugging, it is like you can't even basically work in the projects. But we cannot excel in debugging in one class. I'll keep taking debugging concepts in between, but by the time we reach end of the course, you will excel in debugging. Is this clear? So now as a beginner, since I'm using Eclipse, I'm using this only for debugging. So in the debugging, the first step is, where do you want to stop, at which line number, and start analyzing the program line by line. So in order to stop at a particular line, just go to that line, double click, and that will put one small bubble called as a breakpoint. If you double click, the breakpoint is gone. Double click, breakpoint is back. And once you do this, you see here a debug icon. Click on that. Okay, don't click on the run button, click on the debug icon. I'll make you install this tool, don't worry. Now I'm at this line number 4. Now there are certain controls given in debugging. There are certain controls that has been given in what? Debugging. Now what are these controls? The first control is called a step over. What is step over? Step over will help you to move from the current line to the next line only inside same block, same method. Block means this is considered as one block. This is considered as another block. So it will move from the current line to next line only in the same block. See? And when you moved ahead, what is it printing? So now we know what is SOP doing. It's printing 100. Now again you want to move from the current line to next line. What are we doing? Again from the current line I'm moving to next line. But now this step over can only move from the current line to next line. It will not go inside that test method. Now from the current line A1, the next line will become 9 here. If I use step over, we'll directly go to line 9 and stops the program. But it did not go inside the test method. This control that I'm using, step over, can only execute from the current line to next line only inside same block. It cannot jump to the other block or the other method. Did you understand the first control? What is the first control? What is the first control? Step over. The first control is step over, not step out, step over. Are you understanding? Now see, again I will step over. The shortcut is F6. Shortcut is F6. Step over. F6. Step over. F6. Step over. But now I see a method. Now I want a control to go inside that method. I know there's a method call. I want to go to that method. So when you want to go to that method and do further analysis, for some reason you want to go to that test method and analyze something, we use step into. Step into. What is it called as? Step into. Just click on this button. Did it go to test method? Step into will take you to that method. So this gives us a clarity. Look, this statement is calling this method. Now in that method I want to run the code line by line. So I have to use step over. Again inside a block to run a code from the current line to next line, we will use step over. F6. Step over. Closing bracket. Tell me, what did I explain yesterday for closing bracket? Go back to the place from where it is called and stop at next line. F6. See? It went to this line 7 and stopped at next line. What is the next line? 9. Now again do step over. That's the closing bracket of main. Program stopped. I'll repeat again. Observe. I'm now running my program line by line. The first thing that I'm doing here is I'm now doing step over. What is step over? Tell me. What is step over? Tell me. Students. What is step over? Tell me. Huh? Step over means move from the current line. Move from the current line to what? Next line. Is this clear? From the current line, next line. Current line. Now I find a method. How do I go inside that method? Step into F5. And now again if I do step over, it's moving to next line. Closing bracket means go back to the place from where it is called, stop at next line. And then closing bracket of main, program stops. Make sense? Now I'm going to add here a return keyword and see the change of flow. I can write return keyword only in void. So you need not by heart the flow of program. You should always be good with debugging so that you can look at that and analyze the flow. Correct? When we try to do it manually, we find programming to be tough. But when you want to understand the flow and when you start using debugging, you'll understand the flow more clearly. Okay, how many controls covered? 2 controls. What is the first control I covered? Step over. What is the second control I covered? Step into. Now see, again debug. And a breakpoint. Breakpoint means it is stopping at a particular line number. Now step over, step over, step over, and now step into. If you wish to go to that method, step into. Now see, again, once I enter that method, step over, meaning from the current line move to the next line. Now there's a return keyword. Now see, earlier the control was returning upon closing bracket. Now the control will, when I do step over, look at that. From the return keyword, control goes to line 7 and stops at line 9. So earlier this was the one, and now the control is going from here. Now step over, the program stops. Did you understand? Everyone, did you understand now? So 2 controls covered. Now we'll go to the third control of debugging. Okay, we'll go with the third control of debugging. Now the third control is this now. Suppose, assume I started here, step over, step over, step over. I see a method, step in, go to that method, and now what I want, after going to that method, I just want to come out of that method. Executing the complete method, I want to come out of it. Correct? I don't want to do step over and go line by line. I just want to execute this at once and come out. So we have something step out. F6, F5, F7. F6, step over, F5, step into, F6, step out. Step out means the current method that you're in, it will completely execute that method and step out. It will go back to the place from where it is called and stop at next line. At once it will execute all lines. See, it went there. When I do step out, the method in which you are, it will execute that completely and go back to the place from where it is called. And now the closing bracket of main, stop. Did you understand now? How many controls covered? 3 controls covered. Okay. Now what I will do? Is I will now start debugging again. Okay. Again see. Now how do I move from the current line to the next line? Step over. Current line to next line? Step over. Current line to next line? Step over. Now get into that method, step into. Come out of that method. When I say step out, it will execute this complete code and then go back. It will not go back from line 11. It will execute this complete method and go back. That's the meaning. That's why once now you notice it has all executed, goes back, and now program stops. Fourth control we will learn now. The fourth control is you started with debugging. Step over. From the current line, move to the next line. And now there's a resume button. What does it mean? If you click on that, your complete debugging will get executed from here. Complete program will execute now, not in debug, at once. So you're coming out of debug mode and running the program in normal way. See? Again, I'll show you. Observe the screen. I'm in the debug mode. I did step over, but now I realize that I want to come out of my debug mode and resume my program normally. There's a resume button. When you click on that, no more debugging will happen. Complete project code will run at once and you see the output. Did you understand now? So this is like coming out of debug and running the program in normal way. So we use resume button. Are you understanding? We'll cover a lot of things on debugging. Just some introduction is what I have given so far. Fine. Just some introduction has been given so far. Now, with this part, online students, did you understand this part? Your chat is now enabled. You can chat with me. Okay. Are you all clear with this part? If yes, we can continue further. Okay. Very good. So we'll keep using it, which will make our understanding about the flow clear. Now what I will do, I will now here continue further with my methods concept, and then we will talk about stack and heap memory if possible. Now I'm going to write here int x. This is called as a method argument. This is called as a method argument. What is this called as? Method argument. Method argument. And method arguments are always local variables. Method arguments are always local variables. Got it? Now I'll write some. This method is non-static. Are you understanding? Yes, this method is non-static. Observe. Now I'm going to write a1 dot test 100, and I'm going to print here. I'm going to print here x. Since it is local variable, I'm giving variable name. Let's debug this now. I'll remove the breakpoint from here. Double click. Put that back here at this line. Okay. So how do you know where to put the breakpoint? So you cannot understand debugging in one class. I will teach you debugging in depth manner when we start learning Spring Boot API development. Okay, you cannot learn that in one class. I've just given you some idea now for basic program debugging. Now run this. Now when you run this now, look at that, the program stops at line number 4. The program stops at line number 4. Run on debug. Save the program and then run. Okay, see that. Did it stop? Now I will move to the next line. How do I move to the next line? Step over. Now this is a method. So what do I do now? Step into. Very good. Now after you stepped into this, take the cursor. Just take the cursor. What value did it get? 100. Which means this value 100 is gone to variable. Did you understand? This 100 is gone to variable. Just take the cursor here. Just take the cursor here. Yeah, just take the cursor here. You got an idea. What is the value stored in that variable? 100. Now I'm at x. So what is this x going to print now? 100. So let's do step over. What did it print? So this 100 value got copied. I'm printing 100 closing bracket. What is the meaning? Step over. What is the meaning? Go back to the place from where it is called stop at next line. Stop. Main method closing bracket. Did you understand this program now? Yes, online students. Did you understand why method arguments? Yes or no? Sure? Everyone? Okay. हाँ? Method argument एक local variable है भाई. इसको क्यों create करते? When you call this method, you can supply value to that. That's it. Supplying values to method if you want to do, we use method argument. That's it. Now let's say I'm taking another method argument. String name. Error. Because when you call the method now, you have to supply two values in same order. First is int, supplied. String value, not supplied. I will now supply Mike. I'll now supply Mike. Run in debug mode. Now see, this time, what value goes to name, you will get an idea. So I will now go line by line, step over, step into. Now moment you did step into, 100 got copied, Mike got copied. You can see, go to the name variable. What is that I got? And x, what did I get? Huh? The values from here are getting copied. But now I am printing only 100. Am I printing name? No, name printing is not done here. Name printing is not done here. Yes or no? Correct? Now, here name printing is happening. Can you see that? Now 100 got printed, name got printed, closing bracket. Go back to the place from where called stop at next line. What is the next line? This one. Now program execution stops. This is clear. Everyone, you understood why important each and everything we have to take it seriously, like tools training, this, that, because everything makes your development easier, and understanding wise that capabilities you will build now by yourself. Okay, everybody got it now? Yes? Okay, good. So now I will keep using methods, but let me build one simple logic and show you how debugging can now make my life easier. Now what I want to do, I'll just put one simple logic here. If x is equal to 2, I want to print x. Got it? Now, which means if this value x is equal to true, if the value stored in x is 2, it is double equals to 2, true, then only this will run. What is the value I'm supplying here? 100. Let's see what is it returning now. Observe. I'm here. Step over. How do I go to the method? Step into. What value x got? 100. What is this happening here? X has got 100. No, x has got 100. And here it is 2. So we are now comparing x basically. Are you understanding now? We are basically looking at here now what? X double equals. So now let us step over. You see it came out because it is false. It did not enter. If because 100 equals to false, I did not enter and print the value of x. It directly skipped this execution and came here. Yes or no? Correct? Closing bracket of test. Closing bracket of test. What does it mean? Go back to the place called stop at next line, stop the program. Now let's make it 2. Now debug. We'll cover conditional statements later. Don't worry. Now step into. What value x has got? 2. What is present in this? 2. So 2 equals 2. 2 equals 2. What is it going to return? Right? So 2 equals 2 is true. Because it's true, am I entering? Did I enter the if condition now? What is x printing? 2. Closing bracket. Go back to the place called stop at next line. Stop the program. Did you understand now? Everyone got it now? We will see this furthermore later. But now, let's continue with our next part of lecture. So far, some good idea about methods has been given, right? And there are other ways also to call a method. I can supply a dot 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 dot. That means you can supply any number of values to x. See now suppose I want to supply 2, 3, 4, 5. Is there only one variable? Yes. This one variable can hold all the values because of the syntax. If I remove it, error. It can hold only one value. Same kind of multiple values if you want to hold 3 dots. Now let's try to run in debug and see. Let's try to run this and debug and see. Debug. Right? Step over. Step into. See. What value it has got now. Can you see that here? Program is not saved. That's why. I have to save the program and debug. Okay? Program was not saved. Program was not saved. Step over. Step into. Now see. What value x has got? All values. Can you see all the values? 2, 3, 4, 5. All the values it's storing in one variable. This all happened because I used 3 dots. Because of using 3 dots, now all the values is being stored in what? One variable. And how it is stored? 0. X of 0 is 2. X of 1 is 3. X of 2 is. X of 3 is 5. Let's do one thing. I will give you now 6. Run in debug mode. Now analyze. Step over. Step into. Now automatically, can you see this here? Automatically now the value stored, can you see here? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Got it now? Any number of values I can store it in one single variable if after int I'm writing 3 dots. And those values are stored with index numbers. They're actually arrays, but I'll talk about arrays later. For now, we'll use a layman term. Index wise, it is storing the value. 0. If I now print 0, which value will it print? 2. X of 1, it will print now 3, then 4, then 5, then 6. Very good. Now, you can just click on the resume button. The whole program will run. Are you understanding now? Let's again run in debug mode. Analyze the flow. Online students. Online students. Are you able to understand? Online students, are you able to understand? Yes? Clear? Are you able to analyze the flow now? Now look at the flow, debug mode. Now you analyze manually. Okay? I'm running this in debug mode. I'm running this in debug mode. Can you see that? How do I move to the next line? Step over. How do I go to that method? Now what values we have got? So x of 0, what value is it printing? Let's see. X of 0. When I do step over, what value did it print? 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, then closing bracket. Now closing bracket. Go back to, okay, now there's an exception. Something went wrong because here I should have given 4. Okay, I should have given 4. Now see, again, step over, step into. Now 2, 3, 4, 5, closing bracket. Go back to the place from where it is called, stop at next line. Closing bracket of main, stop the program. Did you understand? Yes? Everyone clear with this part? So no need to buy hard programs. Just develop that skill of analyzing programs. I've seen a lot of beginners, they buy hard programs. Any program that you write, slowly you will adopt the skills. Now don't think that you've become hero in debugging. You've just climbed one step. It takes time to gain confidence on anything. You've just understood now, okay, I can do this on simple programs. Now with the concepts, when debugging is applied, your concepts will start getting more and more clear. Okay, now we'll start with next concept. Okay, now next concept is, imagine with this I want to supply a string value. So now I will type here Mike, and if after this I take a string value, you see that name, I get an error. Whenever you're using 3 dots with multiple value, then first use that single value variable this way, and then you need to use the sequence of values that should go to x. The sequence has to be like this. Whenever you're using 3 dots, that should be always the last argument in your method. Is this the last argument in your method? That has to be last when there are multiple values you're supplying. Now let's debug and see. Terminate the program. Let's debug and see. Debug, observe, step over, step into. What is that we got in name? And what is x holding? Correct? Let me now print here name. Okay? Continue. Now see, step over, step over, step over, step over, and Mike. Yeah? Closing bracket, go back, stop at next line, done. Okay? So we have now from manually analyzing the flow now. From that, we have understood how debugging can help us to analyze the flow. Okay? Yes? Okay. Now, let's go back to our notes and quickly we'll analyze what we have it here in notes now. Okay? So far, I have discussed about types of variables. I've discussed about static, non-static. We have discussed about what is class, what is new keyword, basic syntaxes, conventions. Stack and heap is not covered. We started with methods. Correct? And now, if you notice, return versus return value was covered yesterday. That we completed. Now here, proceed further. Method arguments I talked about. Using method arguments, we supply values to method when we are calling it. Make sense? Does it make sense? The method argument is a local variable. Arguments inside the method values. Arguments inside the method values that you supply to a method should match. Sorry, there is a typo here. Arguments inside the method should match with the values that you supply. I've done a typo while typing in some batch. So arguments data type should match with the type of values you supply. Arguments data type, this is what I meant. Arguments data type should match with the type of value you supply. If the type of value is string, the data type of argument should match with that. Type is int, then the data type and the value should match. Are you understanding now? And the number of arguments should match. Suppose I'm supplying here two values, then the number of arguments here should be 2. The number of arguments and the type of arguments both should match. Now, two values, two arguments. Type string and type int matching. Makes sense. Did you understand now? Everyone? Next. Can you look at this program and analyze manually what will it print now? Huh? Able to analyze now? Yes. What is it printing? 100. Next example, can you look at and tell me what is it printing? Huh? 100 and Mike. Only 100. Mike, Y is not there. I'm not printing Y. It will not print Mike. Okay. Next. Next, I'm going to talk about one more important concept. Suppose I change the method argument type object X. I change the method argument type as object. Observe that. 1 minute. Right. So let us now continue further, and now we are going to have a look at this now. Suppose you give the type as object. Am I able to supply string to it? It is capital O. There's a built-in class in Java called as object. There's no error, no? Is there any error here? Huh? No. I will supply string or a number. Let's supply a number. Do you see any error? No. I will supply a character value, which means single alphabet. Single character. There's no error. I will supply a boolean value, true or false. No error. I am supplying a decimal value. No error. What do you mean by that? If a variable type is object, it can store any kind of value in it. Are you understanding? If you give the type as object, observe, it can store any kind of value in it. It can store any kind of value in it. Make sense? Online students, are you all clear with this? Please practice with debugging. You don't require anyone. You, your laptop, debugging skills, write a program, debug, analyze, practice. Got it? Whatever classes I'm taking daily, you have to prepare handwritten notes, open your laptop. Tomorrow we will install Eclipse. I'll teach you some shortcuts in Eclipse. You will start debugging, analyze. Okay? That is the flow daily you have to take. Okay. Now, let's continue further. So, look at this and tell me what is the output of the program. Letter A. What is the output of this program? What is the meaning of this 3 dots? It can take any number of values in single variable. Clear, no? Okay. Next example. I am writing this at the end, last argument and Y. Otherwise, you will get an error. So, what is Y going to print? And what are the other things here? Very good. Static methods, we will have a look at it now. Okay. Suppose I make a method static. Let's delete this line, delete this line, delete this. Now, suppose I make a method as static. Suppose I make a method as static. Let me write here, hello. If I make a method as static, then what do you mean by that? You need not create object. How will you call that then? Okay, are you understanding? Now run. Same way it will work. The only thing is you will call with a class name. Whatever examples I took now, you convert to static, just call with class name. Example 1 clear? Example 1 clear? Yes, no? Yes. Example number 2. Example number 2 now will return some value back. Will return some value back. So you're returning some value. Change that to int. Which keyword will you add? Return. It's returning the value here, int x. Then you're printing. Will debug. Don't worry. Let's put a breakpoint here. Remove this breakpoint. Double click and remove. Add, remove. Remove, add. Double click for both. Debug. See the flow now. We are at which line? 5 is a method. Do you want to go to that method? Step into. Now where is it returning value? Step over. What is the value x got now? Step over. What did we get in x? 100. Step over. Closing bracket of main. Stop. Did you understand? Everyone clear with this part? Yeah. So I've talked about now the second example here. The second example was this. Third example. Can you analyze what is the output of this? Let's debug. Let's debug. Slowly I will debug. Analyze the flow. Remove the breakpoint. Put that here. Let's click on debug. Yeah. Now it's a method. How do I go to that method? Step into. What is the value present here? I've not saved the program. Hold on. Let me save the program. Okay. Let me save the program. Terminate and restart again. Okay. Now see. Step into. What is the value we got? 100. What does B gets? Now A plus B is 300. So what is the value it will return here? So this line should go here. Check that. Step over. Did it go back? Now step over. What value X got? 300. Step over. What is the value it's printing? Closing bracket of main. Program stops. Interesting. Yeah. So in BTM layout, debugging does not happen. Only mugging happens. Right? So you need not by heart the program. Debug the program. Any program, your mind automatically will start working. When you keep debugging, automatically without debugging also you will start understanding the flow now. Because 100 times when you debug something, the next time when you look at the program, only your mind will work like debugging. That flow starts here, it goes here, goes here, goes here. This is what is happening, this is what is coming back. Any programming language, when the flow of program you start understanding it, you start becoming little confident about it. Second is syntaxes. And syntaxes you can improvise only when you are writing programs in books. Until unless you don't write the program in books, syntaxes will not become clear. Is this clear, everyone? Yes. Any doubts, questions, queries? Any doubts, questions, queries? We'll stop here today. Sir, I have not taken even 1 hour class. You're telling me to stop. Before you asked me, sir, how many hours class will you take? Just the 4th class, we have reached almost near about to 700 lines of notes is covered in 4th class. In 4th class, 700 lines of notes, I've covered it already. Yes or no? Yes. And we are just on day 4 of Java. Are you confident now? Slowly gaining confidence. Practice, that will give you more confidence. Is clear? See you again. The next class tomorrow will continue from here further. You people are not at all writing any comments on my YouTube video. I'll delete all those videos from YouTube now. You're not liking my teaching, is it? हाँ? तो फिर share, subscribe, like कौन करेगा? If you're liking my video, share, subscribe, comment. This has to happen. Yes? You don't like my video, at least put a dislike. You don't like it, at least put a dislike. But if you genuinely like it, don't sit there like Gajni. After watching my video, react to that. Don't sit like, ah. So after seeing that, share, like, comment. Okay? Please share with your friends. Humble request. Is this clear? If you like it. हाँ तो बोल दो, जाने दो. जोर से तो हाँ बोल दो. हाँ. किसी किसी को फर्क ही नहीं पड़ता है. और जितना भी सीखा तो he's like a cow. वो रिएक्शन ही नहीं देगा. वो ऐसी जैसे गाय को देखा, एक जगह पे बैठी रहेगी तो ऐसे रहेगी. Will not move for half an hour from that place. After half an hour, the cow realizes, अभी यहाँ से उठना है. We people have to be super active. Is this clear? Yeah. Bye guys. Take care. Tomorrow more interesting lecture we will cover. Now that we know debugging, we can start understanding Java more beautifully now. Got it? And when you start doing this, you will understand the flow by yourself. How constructor works, what is happening, what's there, what's going on here and then, how a bug arises. See, debugging main purpose is, you know what? Debugging will, see, in lakhs of lines of code, somewhere problem has occurred. How do you know which line that problem has occurred? The answer for that is debugging. Debugging will firstly take you to that line where the problem is, and it will tell you what the problem is. Now when you know where the problem is, what the problem is, then we fix the problem. Defect fixing. This is how we will be doing it in companies. Okay? Right, see you. So, Sania not allowing for access. Jeel Patel. I'm your for last time old student. Last time I will give you access, old student. I'm telling you, I'm very serious. If you're not serious about my classes, I will not keep giving you access. You also listen carefully. You join my classes and then do some government exams preparation. You wanted to become IAS. You sit in my class. There IAS also you did not become. Here software engineer also did not become. 7 years later you will come to me, give me access. I will not give. If you are paying fees and joining, you have to complete the course. If you don't complete course, you will not get job. Understand, it's a very serious journey. You simply pay the fees and you're not learning seriously. You're not practicing. Course is only incomplete. How will you get job? I see every new batch when I start, old students will join. Now they will start requesting me. They think when I join a new batch, sir will listen to me. Because new students are there. I will not listen. Okay, I will not listen. Are you understanding? You have to complete the course systematically. Some health reason, some personal problem. Okay, this time I'm giving it. Next time I'll not provide access. Okay, first course completion, then only placements can start. Bye guys.